allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
If you're looking to make extra income, if you're looking to pay off bills and plan for your retirement, then check out philsgang.com. Philsgang.com is an online educational service that informs you, coaches you, and guides you on how to invest in the stock market. Get daily advice to buy stocks, short stocks, and learn when to get out of your positions. Philsgang.com provides daily webinars, alerts, educational tutorials, and all material is archived. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandandy.
Study up, because knowing something about an issue makes a difference. So go online and read the facts, not the alternative facts, the real facts.
Like when Elizabeth Warren lied about her being part Cherokee so she could jump ahead at Harvard and get the professor job in front of, there's like 200 applicants she jumped in front of by lying that she's part Cherokee. So someone should go and read the facts about her. Good afternoon. My name is Phil Grandandy, Phil's Gang. What a weekend. Hope all the moms had a good weekend. And now we got to start some business here today. There's so much to go over. I don't know really where to start, but I'm just going to start, I guess. Let's start with, do you really care about Chuck Schumer and the prosecutors in Russia? Or do you care more about your health care, your payments of health care, getting a good job rather than a lousy part-time job? I'm listening to this weekend. Listen to this.
So there are a lot of advantages over a special prosecutor, and if you look at the Department of Justice guidelines, there's never a more important time, a more appropriate time for a special prosecutor than in this situation.
There's never a good time for a special prosecutor in any situation. It takes our Congress eye off the ball. We have an economy that's not growing. We have health care premiums are going through the roof. We have terrible jobs. We have a crisis for retirement. It's unbelievable. So Schumer wants to get all the congressmen their eye off the ball to go after Trump, to get a special prosecutor. Really?
I do not believe President Trump is a target or subject of any investigation regarding collusion with the Russians. That's what I believe.
And even if he was, so what? Let's concentrate on what we need to concentrate on. Do you really care? I mean, over the weekend, I had to shut the TV off. I couldn't stand it anymore. I was pulling, my hair was hurting. Russia. Give me a break. Who cares? God, it's just, we got so many things to talk about. So many things to talk about. Listen to this. Here's another dope. where do these guys come from on CNBC, Steve Leisman and the rest of them, who's supposed to be giving us advice? Listen to this nonsense. I'd like to know what world they live in.
I think it's strength across the board. You've got consumer confidence is up. You've got businesses are feeling a little bit better. So despite what's going on in Washington, I think some really positive stuff on the earnings side.
Really positive stuff on earnings. Really? Positive stuff. Earnings, yeah, up 13.5%, they tell us. But I told you the other day, 45% of those earnings, or 40% of those earnings are fake. They're there because of financial engineering. They're there because of stock buybacks. So no, they're not good. Consumers aren't in good shape. Bankruptcies are rising faster, a faster pace now since the recession. What are they talking about? Consumers are in good shape.
Consumers took a worrisome break earlier this year, but new data released today suggests they resumed their spending ways in April.
Yeah, spending ways in April. Credit cards. The banks are sending out 10 million credit cards every year to those who just make their payment, minimum payment. Can you believe that? The economy's so bad that the banks just keep sending out credit cards to keep the economy going because the banks don't want to go down. And yet he sits there and says this. What a lie. What's he talking about? Credit card defaults are at a 4-year high, and it's getting worse. 45% of Americans spend up to half of their income repaying credit card debt. What are you, nuts? And he says something like that? Listen again.
Consumers took a worrisome break earlier this year, but new data released today suggests they resumed their spending ways in April.
Yeah, they're spending ways in April, all right. Credit cards. And they can't even... Thank God the banks keep giving them credit cards, even though they're just making minimum payment. They give them more credit cards. And give them more credit cards. Student debt. What are you, nuts? We're at $1.3 trillion. Why do you think housing, the first-time home buyer, is dead, dead, dead? 45% of the housing industry used to be, new home sales used to be the first-time home buyer. They're gone. They're dead because they got staggering debt of $1.3 trillion. Student loan debt is killing them. It's piling up. It's doubled over the past 10 years, most of it under Obama. Borrowers are leaving school owing an average of $34,000, and they can't get a job. If they do, it's a waiter, waitress, or bartender. And 34, that's up 70% from 10 years ago. So under the last part of the Bush administration, and Obama, 70% increase in what students owe. Loan delinquencies in the last quarter climbed to the highest rate for all types of household debt. But what are we being told by CNBC and Fox and the rest of these people, these dopes? Oh, everything's terrific. So the highest rate of household debt ever. That means the student loan repayment is taking a backseat to other financial demands, such as rent, mortgage payments, phone bills, credit card, on and on and on, taking a back seat. $1.3 trillion, taking a back seat to everything else. And you want to know why the economy can't grow 0.7%? And they're trying to take parking space on our head. The economy is really good.
The underlying fundamentals of growth in the economy, what we call the reflation, we and the market calls the reflation theme, is alive and well.
Don't you love these buzzwords? Buzzwords, don't you like that? Reflation. Listen to him again. He wants to sound intelligent.
The underlying fundamentals of growth in the economy, what we call the reflation, we and the market call...
You and the market? Where's the reflation? What reflation? What do you mean reflation? Let's talk straight. We're going to have inflation. We've got inflation. Look at the student loan inflation. And when you have inflation, that means yields go up. And when yields go up, what do the geniuses in Washington do? They push them down. How do they push the interest rates down? by doing quantitative easing, by printing money and giving money to corporations to buy their own shares. They just print money and throw it into the stock market. And then you can't get a good job because of it. You can't get overtime because of it. Auto loans. If things are so good, auto loans. What the hell's going on? They're telling us things are pretty good. At least tell us things are good. Auto loans are a catastrophe. Matter of fact, they've been giving auto loans, and you've heard this before, so many auto loans to people who shouldn't get an auto loan that the Massachusetts Attorney General got together with 2 states, Massachusetts, I think it's New Hampshire, where they're going after him for giving car loans to people who should never have them. They fined him $26 million. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Phil's Gang offers one of the best collections of charts available on the internet. We built the Max Best software to have the best features, and so far, the early reviews have been great. So don't just be an investor, be a Max Investor with Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 stock charts. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Performing technical analysis is no easy task for any investor unless conducted with a professional stock charting service. At Phil's Gang, we offer a choice of high-power, color-coded stock charts, all seamlessly integrated, so you could tackle the market the way you want to. The Phil's Gang Max Best 1000 stock charts. From Phil's Gang are high-performance HTML5 web-based charts that work on any browser and device, so you could put live streaming data and fully interactive charts in the palm of your hand. Phil Grandandy designed the MV software to have the best features, and so far the early reviews have been great. You can plot charts on an intraday basis as well as on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. There is also a built-in watch list that you can customize to your liking. For more information, go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Celebrating 18 years as the leader in investing and trading education.
Following your system has been fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate the work you do. You're really an inspiration.
Well, all of the tools you put together for us have just given us so much confidence.
I have learned so much. It is absolutely incredible.
You're really one of the best I've ever heard. I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
You guys have always been great on the service side.
I have so much more confidence than when I'm in my trading.
Phil, keep up the good work. I love the chart.
I've been in this business for 45 years, and you are the best. And I've been following you, I guess, about 9 months right now, and you've just done a great job.
Listen to Phil, join the gang, and you'll never regret it.
If you're serious about securing your financial future, then contact philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. I have a special invitation for 50 people, just 50 people, be this Saturday online. I'm going to hold a special webinar. It's for my gang members and non-gang members both, from noon to 3 o'clock, where I'm going to teach how to use charts. I'm going to talk about the market, how to buy the market. If you never looked at a chart before, this is fantastic. A great opportunity to learn how to use a simple chart, a simple buy, a simple sell. If you're in a 401k, this would be perfect for you. When do I get out? When do I get in? Should I be with exchange traded funds? Or are you busy or not busy? I will help you. I will guide you. And that's going to be from noon to 3 Eastern Time. It's $70. So I'm inviting 50 people. You can start signing up now. Go to my site, philsgang.com, where it says webinar. And you sign up, and you get the, and you'll be set. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And you got 2 weeks now. If you can't make it on Saturday, that's okay, because it's archived for 2 weeks. So you sign up, and you can't be there. It's archived for 2 weeks. And it's on demand. And this is great because you also can have your kids look at this too. But you're going to be learning stuff that you've never heard before. I mean, how the market really works. When do you really get out? How do you know on a simple chart, just something simple that tells you, hey, I better get out of this thing, instead of listening to all this nonsense that you hear every day, every weekend, bulls and bears and the rest of this stuff? Unbelievable. Here, give you an example. Listen to this.
Let's talk about what you're buying. Starbucks is another one.
The company talked about mid-single-digit comps that they saw in April, and that was a substantial increase from the first quarter. So I think that with easy compares, 15% earnings growth going forward, and a very under-levered balance sheet, I think this one makes a lot of sense.
Look, 15% earnings growth going forward. Under-levered balance sheet. You don't need to know any of that. You don't need to know about is a balance sheet levered or not. You don't need to know about the earnings growth, because the earnings growth are all lies. They lie. Hate to tell you, Starbucks got great coffee, but they lie. There is so much trickery when they do these quarterly earnings. It's unbelievable, the trickery. And you're going to learn from me on Saturday with a simple chart. How do you know that? Here, I'll show you. Take Starbucks. Go online right now if you have a mobile device. You can see we had on our chart, buying started to come into this stock around $57. They went up to around 62, and then it started to turn red. Around 61. I'll round it off. So it just started to turn red. So she went up about 15%. She went up 8%. But then you knew it's time to get out. They're telling you to get in. They're saying to get in. Today, now. 3 days is telling you the institutions are telling you to get out. But more important is, what groups do you buy? We have 11 groups, or I should say, there's 11 groups you should pay attention to. You don't need 11 sectors. You haven't got to know all about these stocks. People get frustrated thinking they got to have so much information that they just got to go to a broker. They got to get a planner. They need someone to help them. It's so confused. No, it isn't. As a matter of fact, if you never invested in a stock before, I'd love to get my hands on you on Saturday. Your mind's not contaminated. If you never invested, oh, what a beautiful thing to get someone to come to class that has never invested in a stock. You know, this whole thing has changed about stocks today. Those stocks that you see, I don't care if it's Starbucks, I don't care if it's Costco, I don't care if it's Lowe's, the stock price has nothing to do with the company. The stock price has to do with a bunch of guys on Wall Street who are going to manipulate the computers, front run them. They're going to decide when it goes up. They're going to decide when it comes down. Matter of fact, our owners, the Federal Reserve, if our president, Trump, would do anything, is to abolish the Federal Reserve so they stop manipulating the market. This market has gone up now for 10 years without even a 10% pullback, because they're of the opinion now, and they know that they control the stock market. They can make it go up, make it go down, make it go sideways. Never before. But with today's technology, a small group of people control the market, and they get incredibly wealthy. And you're stuck in these stupid 401ks. 401ks. You're never going to make money, but keep them. I'm going to show you on Saturday how you can identify when to get out of these things. It's that simple. And what are the best, like take for example, right now I've been telling you gold mining stocks for what? How long now? 4 months? I said, you watch. Gold mining stocks, the dollar's going to keep coming down, gold's going to start going back up, and oil is going to start going back up. Ask my gang members. I've been talking about this for at least 3-4 months. Now all of a sudden, oil's going up, gold's going up, and you start seeing on CNBC, now they start telling, oh, oil's going up, gold's going up. No, we already knew that. And the idea is to get you to understand that you stay with just 5 stocks a year. There's no such thing as a hot stock. That is so stupid to think you're going to get a hot stock. Then when one day a stock goes up, everybody chases it to get it. No, I want the stock that nobody's chasing. I want the retail stock that got clobbered. I want Nordstrom. See, Nordstrom got killed. Nordstrom fell out of bed. Think about it. In 3 days, this stock dropped from $50 down to $41 in 3 days. 18% drop. What a beautiful thing. But guess what? You would have never got caught. Matter of fact, you would have made money shorting it. And I'm going to do a lot on shorting on Saturday. Teach you how to make money when a stock goes down. But the key thing is to get the advance warning before it goes down. Before it goes down. But instead of chasing this now, Nordstrom, now you wait and you're going to catch it on the way back up. Nordstrom got just killed. That's where you're going to make money. Getting into that stock when nobody wants it. But when do you get in? How do you know when to get in? That's what I'm going to teach you. And as I say, it's going to be archived. It's going to be archived for 2 weeks. So go to my site, philsgang.com, and I want 50 folks to join me this Saturday, and it's archived, by the way, if you can't make it, for 2 weeks. Go to where it says webinar. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG if you need help.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money. The hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are disgusted with the market, who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, or prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
We think the greatest growth for the greatest number of years comes when tax reform is bold,
when it's balanced within the budget, counting on economic growth, and it's permanent. So those factors will be part of the discussions that we're having with the White House. I think it's important for all of us to go into those discussions with our best solutions and be open to find.
God, are they a bunch of airbags, aren't they? Corporate tax. I love this corporate taxes. They talk about corporate taxes. Well, first of all, I told you last week that corporate tax as part of our GDP is less than 1%. It used to be 7%. It's less than 1%. It's no big deal. And by the way, it's a lie. They keep telling us that we have record high taxes in this country. No, it's not true. Not true. I heard over the weekend again how we have the record high taxes in the United States. Highest corporate tax rate in the world. Not after the accounting tricks. Why don't they talk about the accounting tricks? No, I'm not going to talk about the accounting tricks. What are you, not talk about the accounting tricks? Most countries, the average is 27.9% or 27.7%. Our corporations pay 27.9%, not 35%, not 39%. Once they plug in all their tricks, their accounting tricks. They have the same exact rate as all the other countries. So why are we wasting our time? Let's work on small businesses. Let's work on getting money to the 700,000 small businesses in this country. They're the engine behind our economy. They're the ones that create the jobs. Not GM, not Google, not Facebook. It's the small business you see in your town. And when you say small business, if there's any left, you're right, JR, if there's any left. We're talking about businesses of 5 people to an average like 25 people. 5 to 25, that's your average small business. That's what grows this economy. Without this, there's no economy. Let's cut their taxes. Let's get rid of the payroll tax. I talked about that last week. Why do I have to pay 7%, and why should my employee pay 7%? That's stupid. Boy, is that stupid. Can you imagine you take each one of those 7%? I could go buy new computers. I could hire somebody. People, my employees can take it. They could go out and they can buy something. Get the economy going. The economy's not going to start going because the corporate taxes are lower. They're just going to get richer. The CEOs make 325 times the worker. Do you think, for some reason, all of a sudden they're going to find religion? These CEOs? These parasites? These vicious parasites? You think they care? They're not even in the same planet as a worker. They have no idea what you go through trying to meet your bills. And then there's nothing left. And they go, oh, gee, there's nothing left. I wonder why stores are closing. Oh, it's because of computers. I never got so much email. People say, I didn't know that when you said only 8%. Online shopping, only 8%. That's right. That's right. It's only 8%. These stores are going out of business because people don't have money. So they're using their computer before they go shop and find out those shoes they want or that handbag they want, which store has the best price. That's what's killing them. And if a sharp merchandiser, he's going to make sure he's competitive. They'll always be in business. Only 8% of sales are done with a computer. But 98% of the people, before they go out and buy, they use that computer to find the best price. And service too, by the way, which service sucks. And you ever go to one of these department stores? Try to find somebody to help you? Are you kidding? You could wander around. You could walk out with the whole store. You could back up a truck and empty the whole men's department out. Come back and get your wife's stuff. Empty the women's department. Nobody would stop you. There's nobody around. What are you, nuts? Yeah, corporate tax. We're going to cut corporate tax. Everything's going to be all better. Corporate taxes. No, let's cut the cruelest tax of all, payroll tax. Are you nuts? You know, it's real simple with stocks. I'm going to show you on Saturday. Everybody thinks it's a big deal how to get stocks going. Like you got to study everything. You got to study stuff. So you're going to go out and you're going to hire a broker or a planner. You got to find out who's got the best PE ratio. Is it trailing PE, forward PE? Who cares about trailing PE or forward PE? None of them are any good anyways. They all lie. Whether it's trailing or forward or upside down or spinning around, PE ratios lie. That's all lies. It's all engineered. You don't need to know anything about PE ratios or price to sales or price to book or profit margins or operating margins. You don't need to know any of that garbage. You don't to make money. It's so simple, and I'm going to show you this Saturday how to do it. $70 investment. That $70 investment, you'll learn more from me than going to Harvard and Yale together. You learn more from me about investing than you ever would from going to Harvard. And how simple the stock market is today with technology we use on charts. The technology we use today is so beautiful because with the technology you can follow the money. You don't have to follow the lies. The lies is all we follow now.
Consumers took a worrisome break earlier this year, but new data released today suggests they resumed their spending ways in April.
So they resumed their spending ways. I wonder what that is. You think they all got jobs? You think they got no more waiter jobs? Last month we had what? Came out, I forgot how many waiter and waitress jobs, 54,000. And construction jobs, 9,000. Mining jobs, like 6,000. There's no more good jobs out there. Unbelievable. Trumpism. You know, we had this big promise. Trumpism. What's Trumpism? Trumpism was the promise of replacing Aunt B. Trumpism was the promise of repealing of Obamacare, the promise of tax cuts, deregulation, infrastructure, new infrastructure, all defined by superlatives, huge, fantastic, big time, incredible, incredibly big time. Trumpism was the promise of replacing Aunt B, that dope, she's so stupid. The promise of balancing the budget, cutting deficits, and to empower the private sector and to starve the public sector like Reagan did using the strong dollar. Remember that promise? Because, see, a strong dollar is a wonderful thing because a strong dollar is associated with a strong economy. A strong dollar keeps cost of borrowing lower. That's what you want. A 1% rate hike increases the interest on our national debt by $250 billion on top of the $237 billion we already now pay on a $19 trillion debt. A strong dollar is good for housing industry, makes building materials cheaper. Strong dollar is good because it lowers the price of oil. But all commodities, lumber, concrete, all that stuff, copper that we use in our houses, that's why strong dollar is good. Strong dollar is good for domestic manufacturers who don't export their stuff. For small mid-cap stocks. That's another thing I'm going to teach you on Saturday. Which stock should you be in? The big cap or the small cap? You don't know. You listen to these dopes. Or you read something in Barron's and all of a sudden you're going to buy that stock. I love people who read something in Barron's or Wall Street Journal and buy the stock. You're only about 3 months too late. If it's in the journal or on TV and they're telling you to buy a stock, the guys who already bought it are now getting out. The smart guys are getting out when you're getting in. See, a strong dollar keeps the lid on inflation, which means we don't have to do QE. Simple English, prices are going up because of a strong dollar. Right? When you have prices going up, that strong dollar keeps those prices down. But when you don't have a strong dollar, you have a weak dollar, that inflation goes up, which means they got to start printing money and they got to start pushing those prices back down. The interest rates down, the yields back down, and it kills the economy. But guess what? Now they don't want a strong dollar anymore. Now they want a weak dollar. Explain when I get back. Join me. I need 50 people for this Saturday. $70.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Attention all listeners. Are you interested in learning proven investing and trading profit-taking strategies that apply in any up or down stock market? This Saturday, May 20th, Phil Grandandy and the philsgang.com team will host a live online special Market Rally webinar. For only $70, this webinar will cover Phil's trading and investing strategies, including preparing you for a market correction. Plus, you will learn how to short stocks and how to trade and invest in any market condition. While no one can predict the timing of a down market, philsgang.com is committed to teaching you the skills necessary to reaching your financial goals. And this webinar will help you prepare and give you the confidence you need. This webinar will be archived for 2 weeks. That's this Saturday, May 20th. Don't wait. Register today. Simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Scheer, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud Z store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com. Phil Grandandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil's subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
Well, you're suggesting that the product from Exact Sciences doesn't work. I mean, that's the charge you're making.
What I'm suggesting,
so what evidence do you have for that?
They did a study with Stanford University and showed with the Markov model, it is inferior to the standard of care and inferior to fit test. That's them saying it, not me. It's an inferior test that they're trying to compensate by running commercials for people who are afraid to get a colonoscopy.
Well, Andrew is dead wrong when it comes to detecting stage 1 colon cancer from blood. It has been shown in study after study after study that biologically that doesn't appear to be possible.
Well, who do you believe when you go buy the stock? Who do you believe? You don't believe any of them. Because you see, all you want to do, okay, is follow the money. That's all you care about. It's so easy if you just follow the money. It's not any harder than that. Follow the money. And today, the stock, after it ran from $22, it ran up to about $35, 22 to 35. And institution, that's about a 59% rally, a gain. But today is telling you to get out. So what are you going to listen to these guys and decide which one you're going to believe and then stay in it and gamble? We're not gamblers here. Matter of fact, we don't manage stocks here. We manage our money. We manage our money so we can retire. We don't have to go down to Publix or a grocery store and bag groceries when you're 70 years old. So by simply putting it on a chart, and you have we have today the technology to tell you, are the crooked hedge funds on Wall Street, are they putting their money in? Yeah. When are they taking their money out? Oh, there it is. They're taking their money out. We're getting out. You're going to have such a good understanding of stocks. I'm telling you, this Saturday, again, $70. I'm looking for 50 people. It's, remember, archived for 2 weeks. If you can't make it on Friday, you got it for 2 weeks. I'm going to introduce you to the stock market. I'm going to introduce you to the world of charting, whether you're an expert, whether you already chart or not, or it's your first time. We're going to talk about how to make money when the market's going down. We're going to talk about, should you be in exchange-traded funds, not in exchange-traded funds? What do you do with your 401ks? You're going to get such good information that you don't get anywhere else. So just go to my site and go check where it says webinar. Sign up. If you need help, go to 877-600-GANG. Call 877-600-GANG. Okay. So, again, I just have to laugh when I hear these people. Just go to the chart and see if they're putting their money in. If they're putting their money in, I'm going to put mine in. It's that simple. They're pulling theirs out and pulling mine out. You know what's really interesting? We just talked about how the strong dollar is there's so many good things about the strong dollar. But Trump now is going to go to a weak dollar. Why? Because he hired two parasites from Goldman Sachs. One's his Treasury Secretary, and the other is his right-hand man. Yeah, this right-hand man who gives him all this advice. So they made him switch from the strong dollar, which is great for America, all of America, especially Main Street, to a weak dollar, which is only good for the banksters, which these two guys come from Goldman Sachs. They both left with $100 million each. And their job is to make sure that President Trump takes care of the bankers. Because they know the banks are in trouble. They know these banks are being propped up through accounting tricks. As long as you got $32 trillion on your in debt, and you only have assets of $2 trillion. But see, what they did is an accounting trick called off-balance sheet financing. In 2008, when they had the TARP money to save all the banks, they had to get rid of all their debt. So they did a special tax thing where they could take that bad debt and move it off the balance sheet so it's not on there. So they could loan them the money. But they still have that responsibility. You know, it's amazing. Like the spending bill. You get disappointed. This guy, Ryan, is going to destroy Trump. Just like his two parasites from Goldman Sachs, who now run this country, they're going to destroy Trump's presidency. Really. The spending bill. I never saw such a joke. Trumpism was the promise that he would cut funding for what President Trump called the worst deal ever, Iran. He was going to cut funding for Planned Parenthood, Obamacare. He was cutting funding for sanctuary cities. He was cutting funding for National Endowment of the Arts. No more funding for H-2B visa programs to increase the number of foreigners to come over here and take our jobs. He wasn't going to increase that. He was going to cut all that. Iran, Planned Parenthood, Obamacare, sanctuary cities, National Endowment for the Arts. No funding for H-2B visa. That was his promise. That's what he said he was going to do. So not only did President Trump and Ryan go along with the funding of all those, yeah, Ryan goes in and funds them all. Funds them all. Even Obamacare, even sanctuary cities. They funded them all. You believe that? Disappointed? What is really disappointing, besides Congress, dysfunctional, I'll use that word, dysfunctional spending of our $3.5 trillion in tax money you and I send in, that President Trump only received half the money he wanted for his defense spending. So he gets half of what he wanted, but he gave all that money to everything he didn't want. And remember, Trump was really disappointing. Trump was elected to repeal Obamacare, which didn't happen. Obama, remember, made us believe 38 million Americans were dying on the street, which is not true because there's a 1986 Congress passed National Health Care Program. You go into the emergency room, you get taken care of. So Ryan, with his new health care package that won't pass, because it isn't a repeal. The Senate's not going to pass it because it's not a repeal. These two parasites from Goldman Sachs are going to destroy Trump, and Ryan is destroying Trump. Can you imagine Ryan going in and making sure that Iran and sanctuary cities all got funded in Obamacare? That's unbelievable. This new health care package won't pass with the Senate because it's not a repeal, it's a replacement of the Affordable Care Act. It looks more like a transfer from the sick and poor to the rich and healthy, the way Ryan wrote this bill. It has been written so poorly, you have to wonder if Ryan is drunk, or is he trying to destroy Trump on purpose? At first look, it looks as if 24 million poor people will lose their subsidies called Medicaid, which gives them access to health insurance coverage, including, it looks like that millions of people are going to lose their pre-existing care, which is not the case. What Ryan did is he transferred all the pre-existing cases to the state, and the states can make up their mind if they want to take care of it or not. Where under Obamacare, if you had pre-existing, you were under law, the federal government, you had to take care of the pre-existing. But Ryan took it, and by the way, Ryan gutted Medicaid for the poor, and then he says to the states, you decide what you want to do with them. Like he wants to destroy Trump. You know, see, liberals need to understand the reason America has the only health care system in the world designed for insurers to avoid sick people, because that's where the costs are. It'd be like saying we're going to insure, like liberals saying, we want you, when a guy gets into an accident with his car, to be able to get insurance. After he gets in an accident, you call up the insurance, I just got in an accident, I wrecked my car, I killed 2 people, now I want my policy. That's not how insurance works. The reason why 247 million people have insurance because of the system that the healthcare system has. It's been wonderful for years and years and years. Is they try to stay in business by avoiding as many sick people as they can. That's why the government turned around and said, we'll write a plan that everybody can come into the emergency rooms, and we'll have Medicaid. This is so screwed up. It's unbelievable. Look, I need 50 people. I'm inviting 50 people. Remember, to my webinar this Saturday. It's archived for 2 weeks. Go to my site, sign up, webinar, or call 877-600-GANG if you need help.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Vest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Vest is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.